want to start with the story that has basically been dominating the headlines, and rightfully so, which is, of course, the coronavirus. A lot of anxiety out there, and I'm not here. I just want to be clear to freak people out, okay? But here's the thing. Consider this. How does anyone, you, me, Vice President Pence, know how to handle a situation if we don't know the full scope of the problem we face? In fact, when it comes to any difficult problem that any policymaker faces, you cannot solve the problem if you do not properly know the scope. And we have had 3 months to prepare for the coronavirus to come to the U.S. since the outbreak started in Wuhan, China. And we have completely failed so far. The federal government and the Trump administration have completely failed up until now, and we are now weeks and weeks behind where we should be. And the biggest problem right now, way above anything else, is that the government is not testing at capacity, right? To measure the spread of the disease, you need to test for it. And the testing for this it's similar to all sorts of tests for common illnesses. Other countries are doing it at tremendous scales. You swab some saliva, you run it through a machine, it tells you if the patient has coronavirus. The problem is we do not have anywhere near the capacity we need. And that is because the first test developed by the Centers for Disease Control was deficient. It was so bad they had to recall it. It was giving false positives. And then the CDC also had kind of kept a monopoly to itself on testing, and other people couldn't develop their own tests. So when that test didn't work, we were kind of out of luck. So, the key thing is that as of today, if you are a random doctor somewhere who has a patient presenting symptoms and you think this person might have coronavirus, it's very hard as of today to get them tested for it. The CDC has also not told us how much they are testing, which I think is weird, particularly because at the beginning of the crisis, the CDC was telling us how many tests they were running a day, and then they just took that number off their website. And so it was left up to news organizations to try to track down the numbers of how many tests have been run. And get this, it's less than 2,000 tests in the entire country. Okay, so today, these two great reporters at The Atlantic did a lot of shoe leather reporting, and they reported the following. We can only verify that 1,895 people have been tested for the coronavirus in the United States. Less than 2,000 people. For context, in South Korea, more than 66,000 people were tested within the first week of the first case of community transmission. The Trump administration have completely failed.
You like? Subscribe!